Then I've got this, and I don't know if this is true, Don. I have no idea if this is true. Dan Potts, please don't let Don go without you asking him what he said earlier at FT. Enzo, Caicedo, and Lavia are better than Rice, Partey, and Marino.
Bro, what I said on the terrace is for Arsenal, Lavia and Caicedo would be better for them than fucking Partey and Declan Rice is what I said, bro. These lot are forgetting that in January they tried to buy Caicedo. Caicedo on that 8 role is better than Declan Rice on the ball. Every time you speak to guys about Declan Rice, they tell you what he does off the ball. How about you fucking create for me? How about you score from outside the box for me? How about you do a little combination over there?
Like Caicedo's doing.
Oh, does Caicedo do that?
Bro, Caicedo's creative, you know. Caicedo's very underrated outside, like in the final third. Bro, he plays some very good passes in between the lines, bro. And he's more progressive. Yeah. And he's got a higher ceiling than Rice. Right? And then Lavia, have I even got to say much? Potts loves it. He started him over Partey.
I do like Lavia, but he's got to stay fit. If Partey can't stay fit and Lavia can't stay fit, it's like Partey's done it in the game. Lavia's still learning, but I like Lavia.
But you'd rather take the gamble on Lavia because he's still young in comparison.
No, listen, I'd take Lavia because of his ceiling. Yeah, I think his ceiling's high. I rate him, but I don't know. Rice, I love Rice, man.
Rice in an 8. I keep saying this.
I agree. I'd prefer him in the 6, but I think he's ridiculously good in the 6.
Yeah, but okay, let me ask you then, Potts. Let me ask you then: Is Rice a better 6 than Lavia?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think he's more progressive than Lavia?
Yeah, right. Declan Rice is better than Lavia in the 6. Yeah, Lavia's a quality player.
Lavia.
I think he's better than Lavia.
Can you pass a ball forward? I think he can pass a ball forward just as good as Lavia. I don't think there's a major issue with that.
What? Bro, one of Lavia's main strengths is the way he plays it in between the lines, bro. Rice can't play the ball in between the lines like Lavia.
Do you think Lavia's a better player than Declan Rice now?
Bro, I think, in terms of the technical ability, yes, I do.
Bro.
Lavia is a gangster player.
Do you know how
he's not better than Rice, boys?
Lavia, do you know how press resistant Lavia is, bro? Lavia is very hard to take the ball from him.
Lavia's a good player, man, but you can't be coming out here saying he's better than Declan Rice.
Bro, for me, I'll rather take Lavia from a team than Declan Rice. He's more technical than Declan Rice, bro. It's night and
that's why Chelsea are where they are.
It's night and day between both of them, bro. What are we doing here, people? See what you are telling me that Rice is better than.
It's not just about that, though, is it, Dog? But you're looking at the pros of Lavia and going, well, he's better at doing this, so I'd rather take him. But as an overall 6, would you not rather have Rice than Lavia? Overall,
I'd rather have Lavia over Rice, bro. I'd rather have Lavia over Rice because I know.
Anyone else on the panel rather have Lavia than Rice?
One last question. So you've established that. What about in the 8? Would you rather have Caicedo? No, that's answer the question. So in the 8, would you rather have Caicedo or Rice?
Caicedo.
So basically, you just wouldn't take Rice. Even Caicedo, Lavia, in either position, you ain't taking him.
No, bro. No, bro. Listen. We watched this guy for England against Spain. Yeah, the tech was too much, people. The tech was too much. When it was time
Lavia played against Spain like that. What are we doing here? This guy's played for Southampton, bro.
Don't be shameless because when Lavia
I love Lavia. You know I like Lavia, but he's not better than Rice, Don.
Bro, when Lavia last came to the Emirates, no one could get near him. Odegaard presses like a machine, and he couldn't get nowhere near him because how press resistant Lavia is, bro. Yeah. For me, in that first phase, I need my guy to be very comfortable on the ball, and I need him to be able to progress the ball. If I'm bringing in a Declan Rice, I'll have to put him in a pivot. Yeah, next to someone else who can progress the ball. Lavia and Rice can play in the same team. Rice can be next to him as the destroyer, and Lavia can be the one as the progressor. But in the formation that I want to play, bro, what I want to do, I am not playing Rice, bro. I want to build a technical team. He has not got the tech for it. I'm sorry. He ain't got the tech. He's got the legs. Yes. He's got the heart. Yes. He can destroy play. Yes. But on the ball, bro, Lavia's better than him. And Caicedo's better than him on the ball. I'll be real.
Well, you should be smashing everybody in midfield then. Why is midfield getting dominated every weekend then? I don't get it.
If you had a midfield of Caicedo, Lavia, and Odegaard, that would be fucking brutal, blood. That would be a serious midfield.
He does have a point.
That's a serious midfield. Lavia, Caicedo, and Odegaard. Yo, that's serious. And let's not act as if Arsenal did try to buy Caicedo because they did. They tried to buy him before Rice.
Yeah, listen. You make out like you're making out like I think Lavia is awful and Caicedo's a donkey. I think both of them are quality, but Declan Rice has Have you not seen what he's done? Like, let's be real. What he was doing at West Ham was mad. It's just we didn't want to get too hyped about it because West Ham fans get excited, right?
Bro,
let's
I'm
just be
watching
real.
the centre-back pots. You can't tell me about Rice. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm not saying to you. I'm saying I'm not saying you've said he's bad when he was at West Ham. What I'm saying is we weren't doing enough when he was at West Ham. He was a quality player. Everyone could see he was quality, and he's come to Arsenal, and I think he's been ridiculously good. 105 million, and no one's talking about his price tag. He's been class. On the other hand, Lavia can't stay fit, and Caicedo has been pretty poor for Chelsea for 115 million pounds. And we're not even spoken on Enzo, who we were asking about. So for me, I personally can't. I mean, listen, I'm going to be biased. Don's going to be biased. Let the panel decide, man. Who's better, Lavia or Rice?
Being biased, bro. I'll be saying, bro, if Rice played for Chelsea and Lavia played for Arsenal and Caicedo played for Arsenal, I'll be saying the exact same thing, bro. Before these guys even joined, before Rice went to Arsenal and Caicedo came to Chelsea, I was saying I'd rather we go for Caicedo because that's the profile that I need in my team, right? And Caicedo, like I keep telling you, Caicedo is actually an 8. He's not a 6. His natural position is box to box, and he's very underrated in the final third, bro. Very underrated, bro. I'm glad you didn't get Caicedo because if you got Caicedo, you probably win the league. I'll be real, you probably win the league with him, bro.
I mean, listen, I think Rice is ridiculous. I would rather have him over Lavia, but Billy, Dan, LB, are we taking?
Yeah,
I mean,
Don's waffling.
Potts loves Lavia. He's just trying to back his boy.
They are good players. They are good players, but they're not better than Declan Rice.
It depends how you want to play the game.
If you're talking about a partnership, partnership, Bouba Kamara and Douglas Luiz last season are better than Lavia and Caicedo.
Bro, we've barely seen Lavia and Caicedo to really judge them. They were good against Man City when they played together as a pivot. They stifled them pretty much all game in the midfield.
Why haven't we seen Lavia, Don? How long have you had him for?
Bro, Lavia got injured last year because Poch, the donut, got told he's not ready to play. He played him and he picked up another injury. Right, this time round,
is there not a concern about his fitness, though, Don? We'll take away the Rice argument. I get what you're saying, but is there not a concern about this guy's fitness?
Of course there is. Of course there is. I don't know if he's going to be back after the international break because he's injured already. Apparently, it's just a little knock. You know, we'll see, innit? We'll see what happens after. But Lavia's a top player, and before he joined Chelsea, he played the most minutes for any under 20 in the league. Right, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a Chelsea problem. We'll see.
Well, Don, you're hyping these boys up too much. You're hyping them up too much.
How am I hyping them up because I've got a preference? That's not hyping up, bro.
You are, though.
You've got a preference, Billy. You might look at a girl, say, actually, I don't like blonde girls. I like brunettes. I like technical players, bro. I don't like guys like Rice where it takes about.
What do you like, Don? What do you like, blondes or brunettes?
I'm international, man. I can't lie to you.
That's a good way.
That's why he doesn't like Declan Rice.
That's a good thing. That's a good way to leave it, man. Let's go. Since we're talking about Rice, I mean, I haven't got much else to say on it. I've been speaking about it all weekend, losing my head about it. Personally, in a nutshell, I don't think we've done anywhere near enough this window to compete and win the league. Actually, I think we'll compete. I don't think we'll win the league. But that incident was not the reason why Arsenal drew the game, in my opinion. I've been told that I'm deluded for saying that and negative for saying it. The referee was a joke and it's a disgrace. I can get behind the referee had a bad game and the lack of consistency is poor and that Pedro should have got a yellow card as well for booting the ball away and that 5 or 6 players this weekend have threw the ball, tapped the ball, kicked the ball and not got yellow cards, but Rice brushed across it when it was passed into his path and he flicked it and he got a yellow card. I can talk about that. But for me, missing our chances, I'm going to sound like Don now, was the reason that we actually didn't win the game as well. Because Kai Havertz, brilliant goal, but then he does everything technically right for that chance, but fluffed his lines. Saka, poor. Sorry, man. Both them chances he needs to do better. I know we were stretching for the second one, but I think you need to bury that. And also, I'm actually getting quite annoyed, and I love him, but Martin Ødegaard in front of goal in the last couple of weeks has let me down. He's tapping the ball to the keeper and he blasts it over from 6 yards from against Aston Villa. When you do that, you ain't going to win a game of football, people, yeah? We've just been taking the mick out of Don for it. I can't talk. My team are doing it as well. We're fluffing our lines. But my fan base are telling me that I'm negative because we don't need a striker, Potts, because we scored 91 goals last season. Well, I've seen us miss chances in the last 3 games, to be fair, to bury teams, and we haven't done it. So against Brighton, we missed our chances. Brighton are a good team, by the way. I'm not going to sit there and say that actually, you know, Brighton were a shambles and Arsenal should be beating them comfortably because no game's easy in this Premier League. But for me, I thought we were comfortable until the red card, but we should have been 2 or 3-0 up at that point, and we should have then been able to see the game out from a winning position comfortably. And because it was only 1-0, we weren't able to do that. So I don't know what your thoughts are on the red card situation. I'd love anyone to come in on that and see, because there's a lot of Arsenal fans crying, man. There's a lot of people crying about this
because they don't take responsibility, man. At the end of the day, yeah, I watched that game. You should have been 3-0 up, 4-0 up by the time he got to half time. So cook your own players for the finishing. And then even once he got sent off, Havertz still went through, and had a chance to make it 2-1. So, people look at that and go, oh, it's the referee's fault. You need to look at your own players. Your finishing was so poor. So poor. If you just finished your chances, which you should have done, you wouldn't be speaking about the referee. The facts is, Rice dived in on the first tackle. That was a stupid tackle as well, by the way. No one's speaking about that. But, like, what he's doing diving in for that is absolutely ridiculous. He was never getting the ball there. That's a booking. And at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, the guy's trying to take a quick free kick and he kicked the ball away. And that's a yellow. But for me, all these Arsenal fans crying about the referee, have put some responsibility on your own players. Why is your finishing atrocious? You guys should have been 3 or 4-0 up at half time. Easy. Some of the chances, that Odegaard one, where he's like 5 yards out, right in the middle. Like, how's he just kicking it straight to goalkeeper, man? So
he's been media so far.
Yeah, and the last thing, that's part I'd make on this one, is referees are shit for everyone. We all know how bad the referees. Everyone on this panel has been done by the referee in the last 12 months badly. Yeah. Like, you're blaming the referees because you've not done something right. Yeah. And for me, like, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd just be looking towards the players and saying, you got to improve the finishing, man.
Yeah,
that's my view. Isn't it?
I've got to agree, because I've taken a lot of abuse this weekend, and I know it comes with what we do, right? But I sit there and I think maybe it's me who's deluded. Then maybe the referee dropped us points that game. Maybe the referee made Odegaard miss. What? Maybe the referee made us miss in front of goal. Because I sit there and I think I'm getting annoyed with my own fan base, because they sit there and they cry about referees, or it's VAR, or it's this, that, and the third, when really we should have been 2-0 up. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, you should have been 2-0 up. I agree, and I agree with what LB was saying. But I think that sometimes you got to look at, I think it's the inconsistencies that probably rubbed up your fan base the wrong way. I'm not going to lie, I watched the game. I did an up watch. I watched it because I wanted to see what you lot are all about. And I have to say, I wasn't that impressed. But there were a couple of things that I picked up on. There was a moment where Saka, the player at left back or whatever, does his arm in Saka's face. For me, that's a yellow card. He wasn't booked at all. We know what João Pedro did, kicking the ball away, wasn't booked. So for me, I can see why the Arsenal fans were pissed off. I think along with that, there was the stuff about Declan Rice. That's just stupid. It was stupid of him to do what he did in the moment. But it had been a build-up of decisions not really going Arsenal's way, where it could have easily have gone their way. And I think how Saka was being mishandled on that right-hand side was one of the things. But I think the thing that was disappointing for me is that the players allowed themselves to be rattled by the referee's decisions. Sometimes when you're not getting the rub of the green, you just got to crack on and play. But Saka and everybody just kept moaning and moaning and moaning and moaning, when really what they needed to do in the moment was just get on with it. It's okay, a couple of decisions hasn't gone your way, crack on. And for me, the measure of a top team, and people are going to say, how can you speak about this stage, blah, blah, blah. I think about Liverpool going to 10 men in the same circumstance. Would they draw that game? Would City go into 10 men, having been 1-0 up? Do they draw that game? No, they don't. They see out the win. We saw it last season. In fact, my club did something similar as well. We managed to see out a win with 10 men. So for me, that was what was worrying. You didn't handle the physical battle. The boys didn't keep their heads. They were more worried about moaning at the ref. Saka was the one leading that charge. And then you were unable to see out the lead. 3 worrying signs. And I know it's easy to nitpick in the moment, but for me, that was what was disappointing. Because for me, we're expecting Arsenal, with all the gusto, with all the bravado of how great this club is and how they're going to be pushing City to the line. Push them then. Get the job done still. And they didn't. And that was what was disappointing.
Listen, it was disappointing. Obviously, the goal we conceded, by the way, how Lewis Dunk can just thread a ball like that through and it goes through. And Gabriel's got to look at himself, in my opinion. Last couple of games, he's not been good. I don't think he was good against Villa, and he certainly had question marks against Brighton. Maybe Calafiori's going to knock on that door. But I honestly don't. I mean, let me just quickly ask you, LB. We finished 2 points behind Man City. Are we going to do that again? Because I think that we're going to finish much more beyond.
I think your transfer window has been a disgrace. Honestly, that's my opinion as a non-Arsenal fan. You know, you finished 2 points behind us. You come so close to winning the league, both 2 years on the bounce. Yeah, and how much money have you spent this summer?
20 million net. 20
million net. You brought in 3 players? One of them, Sterling. Let's be honest, you only got because he was opportunistic. You wasn't going to get it if it didn't happen. Moreno's now injured for a couple of months. Calafiore is might be good like squad depth, but he's not actually going to probably play. I don't think. You know, as a starter. I haven't
really seen anything special from him. I'm watching.
Yeah. Also, well, by the way, I can't remember which was it. Yeah, it was a game against Brighton, mate. He got lucky because a cross come in towards the end of the game. It was at 1-1, and he just completely left the ball go across him because he didn't think anyone there.
I'll tell you, going mad.
Yeah, there was a guy at the back post. Luckily, whoever the defender was had it covered. But like, if he didn't have it covered, sleeping, that would have been 2-1 game over. So I just think your transfer business has been an absolute disgrace. You know, you should have gone bang in this transfer window and said, right, we're going to give it everything. But this is what I always say. I always feel with Arsenal, yeah, you guys don't go like fully for it when it comes to a transfer window. And I feel like it's in your DNA a little bit. It goes back to the Luis Suarez days. You know what I mean? Like you always. They get to a point where they're actually a good side. Like everyone on this panel can accept that Arsenal are actually pretty good. Yeah. I'd say like you're probably top 5, top 6 teams in Europe. But being top 5, top 6 teams in Europe doesn't win you anything because you have to push harder and harder. And I just feel that like bringing in Calafiore, Raheem Sterling, who's not been good since 2019, and Moreno is that for me. I just think that's a mad, underwhelming window for you.
Do you know what, LB? I agree with everything you're saying. Oh, sorry, go on, Don, because I know you got to go. Go on, you have to stay. Go on.
No, I'm gonna say, bro, because I'm seeing Potts getting mad abuse because he's not happy with the transfer, like what they've done in the window. It's fair enough for him to have that take, bro, because like LB saying, right? Man City, sorry, are a different machine. They're a different animal, right? You're bringing in Sterling, who for me last season was just grenade football. Yeah, he's going to be as inconsistent as Martinelli. He'll probably give you better output than Martinelli, but he's not that guy to go and get you over the line to go win a title. You know what I'm trying to say? So far, what I'm seeing is if Arsenal lose Saka for an extended period of time, it's a top 4 battle for them. I'll be honest with you. It is a top 4 battle for these guys because he is the guy that gets them the goals, he gets them the assists. Every single game so far, he's contributed. And yes, it's his job. That's what he needs to be doing. But there's other players in the team that aren't doing enough at the moment. Odegaard, as the captain, isn't doing enough. Declan Rice in the 8 is not doing enough. Yeah, Martinelli, we already know what he is. Trossard started the other day. People were saying start this guy, but like many people have said, when he starts, he's not that good. He was poor the other day, right? All these concerns, bro. Yeah, what we're gonna go back to? Winning games from set pieces, winning games from moments of brilliance, bro. Is that what we're gonna go back to?